Happy mid-morning, guys. All right, if anybody's been paying attention to what's going on, trying to keep up with this is ridiculous because what are we covering up? What are we hiding? Because we can pretty much tell Corruption Inc. is certainly in charge in the White House. Let's take a look at stuff that's gone on in, I don't know, the last 12 hours. And mind you, it's 8:15 in the morning. Okay. Let's start with the cocaine in the White House. By the way, the Secret Service slipped in yesterday that twice so far in the Biden administration, in the 2.5 years that Potato Joe has been the resident of the most secure building in the world. Oh, there was also two times that marijuana was also found in the White House. Now, to give you this, every inch of the White House is covered by multiple cameras. There are Secret Service all over the place. To get into the White House, they use facial recognition. They take your social security number. I mean, even to go on a tour, you are scrutinized heavily. But for some reason, the FBI decided yesterday, after 11 days, to cancel the investigation, saying there's nothing else they could do. They tested the package for DNA and they tested it for fingerprints, and nothing came up. We are talking the most highly secure building in the world. This was near a situation room where getting into a sit room is next to impossible unless you have like uber high security clearance. Okay. We've all seen pictures like when uh, Osama bin Laden was taken out and the people that are in there. Okay. It's not, Joe Sargent or, Captain Smith that's in there. This is joint members of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, high level politicians, presidents, vice presidents, that sort of stuff, right? But this is where the cocaine was found nearby. Now, I'll give you this. Y'all know my military background. Yeah, I had a security clearance. Everybody in my company had a security clearance. I will tell you this. If cocaine was found in the barracks when I was in, it would have been an immediate lockdown. It would have been everybody piss test immediately. We would have had more scrutiny on us than you could shake a stick at. Nobody was going anywhere. This was it, and they would find it. And this was a bunch of private specialists and sergeants. Okay. This wasn't anybody who had the pulse of the world at their fingertips and the little red button 10 feet away from him. Cover up, big time. What are they covering up? So let's add the next one that happened last night. Biden decided to announce that he was going to, get this, we called this, I don't know how long ago, troops going to Ukraine. All right. And this is called Operation Atlantic Resolve. Crazy. AR. Uh, but we are going to send somewhere to the tune of 3,000 troops over to the Ukrainian area in support of the war against Ukraine. Remember when it was, we're going to send uniforms and medical supplies, and absolutely not, we are not sending troops. And I don't know, if you go back maybe about a year ago in my videos, you'll see, I will bet you eventually we get to the point of sending troops. Okay. Joe's sending reservists. Now, mind you this, reservists are mostly people who have regular jobs and drill every weekend or 1 weekend a month and 2 weeks over the summer. Okay. Sure, they're specialists in what they do. I get it. They've also authorized 450 at a time of people on the individual ready reserve. Now, in case you don't know what the IRR is, The IRR is after you get off active duty, you've served your 2 years, 4 years, whatever it is. Your obligation that you sign up for is 8 years. You do 4 years active, and then you can do another 4 active. You can do 4 years in the reserves and National Guard. If you don't, you go back to civilian life, and you are on the IRR, which means you are eligible for call up at any time. So, of all the people that we have on active duty, of all the people that we have in the reserves, and of all the people that we have in the National Guard, Joe has now decided we're going to call up people who are no longer attached to any unit whatsoever, and we can call up 450 of them. Okay? These are guys and gals who have served their active duty obligation or whatever, went back to civilian life, and for the next 4 years they're on IRR. They're not attached to any unit whatsoever at all, but all of a sudden they get a note in the mail saying, guess what? You're back in the military. Interesting. Okay. Then you add the next one that came out this morning. And Joe has now decided, after the Supreme Court told him and Department of Education, 10 days ago, that his student loan bailout plan was unconstitutional. Headline, Biden administration forgives $39 billion in student loan debt to 804,000 borrowers. And they're saying, well, these are from people that were misled by the colleges or defrauded by the colleges or whatever it would be. Okay. And I mean, there's absolutely instances of these for-profit colleges that were just out there to collect student loan money and didn't give you squat. You go to one of these colleges, the credits weren't transferable. Nobody accepted the degree as anything, whatever. Did you learn something? Probably. Were you marketable? Not really. Okay. Maybe, but I mean, I can remember many times of talking to people who had degrees from some of these colleges and they couldn't do the skills required in a job at all, okay, because the education they got was crap. But the colleges got the money. Why don't we go after the colleges and have them pay back the, I don't know, what was that figure again? $39 billion? Why don't we have those people who profited from it pay it back? Okay, give the government back the money. No, instead, you and I get to pay an extra $39 billion to pay off this. Did some of the people get screwed? Absolutely, not questioning that. But the people to pay for it is not you and me. It certainly ain't Joe and Camel Toe, okay, that are paying for it. It's you and me. Because remember, Joe doesn't pay taxes. Joe's better than that. But what are they covering up? You know, Joe's treason? Yeah, I'd say that'd be something. You know, hey, we now have Joe going up the back stairs of Air Force One because the front stairs are too many stairs for an 80-year-old man to handle. So he goes up the back stairs, which is only about half the size. And oh yeah, yesterday he tripped on those too. Okay, this is a man who trips over sandbags that aren't even there at a service academy graduation. Okay, this is a guy who thinks that Russia's at war with Iraq. You know, Joe's gaffes, as they like to politely call them, are not gaffes. The guy is mentally gone. Okay, he's physically gone. He can't stand up. He didn't show up to a dinner the other day because of dinner at, with the whole NATO meeting and everything, because his work schedule was too much. No, he's got sundowners, which is, as anybody knows anything about Alzheimer's, the sun goes down and so do the eyelids. Okay, that's a very typical effect of somebody who's got nothing going on upstairs. There's something going on. Joe's trying to get us into war. I mean, after sending tanks, then sending planes, now we're sending troops to Ukraine. Okay, I hope y'all are ready, because that kind of got slipped in. And it is Friday. This is when they like to slip stuff in because nobody will pay attention to it. Get ready for war. Joe's trying to hide it. But when they're calling up reservists and IRR troops to send them to Ukraine, better get ready, because it ain't going to be long till your sons, your daughters, your grandkids, the draft comes in. Because do you think Russia's going, oh no, Joe sent us 3,000 troops, we got to run away now? Nope, they're just going, okay, time to order more body bags, both sides. You tell me how pissed you're going to be. Who's going to get the check mark in 15 months when you go into the voting booth? Because you just buried your son, your daughter, your grandson, your granddaughter for Joe's war, from a treasonous president who's hell-bent on destroying the United States. That's reality, guys. That's what's going on. It's about time the world wakes up and sees what a corrupt piece of shit this guy is. We don't need to impeach this president. This president needs to be removed with extreme prejudice. Pinball out.